Transcendence is a book of celebration, a historic book. Transcendence is authored by none other than the people's president, the former president of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Transcendence maps the journey of self-realization through the fusion of science, spirituality, and leadership. May I request you, ladies and gentlemen, to rise from your seats as we recite the Tamil Thai Valthu.
நீராறும் கடலொழுத்த நிலமடந்தை கிழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் பதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனர் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அதை துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறமை எந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே
Let us illuminate this evening by lighting a lamp amidst the resonance of Vedic mantras. May I request the two distinguished torchbearers of India's integrity and spirituality, Pujya Anand Swarup Swami and Honorable Justice Vaidyanathan, to light the lamp.
Interestingly, I want to highlight that it is true that this book has not been written overnight. It is a fact that Dr. Kalam has met Pramukh Swami Maharaj 7 times in 2001, 2002, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2010, and 2014. And also they have conversed several times over phones. Whether Dr. Kalam was just seeking simple blessings or some guidance or was trying to find a way out of his personal moral dilemma. Or there have been times when he has just called and he said, I just want to hear the voice of Pramukh Swami. All I want to tell you and share with you that this friendship is unique, not because it is between a great scientist and a great saint, but it's more important that Dr. Kalam does not speak a word of Gujarati and Pramukh Swami Maharaj does not speak a word of English. And here we see a friendship flourishing that is beyond language. It has been a friendship of communication of consciousness. And I want to highlight one idea very clearly, that not only they did not understand or share the same language, but the contrast is immense. Dr. Kalam is a man of science who has lived on rationality. Pramukh Swami Maharaj is a soul of spirituality who thrives on devotion. At the same time, if you look at Dr. Kalam's life, education-wise, he has received more than 48 doctorates from world's topmost universities. And on the other side, Pramukh Swami Maharaj is so simple that perhaps he can't even spell the abbreviated form of PhD. But I also want to tell you, how is that one of the greatest scientists, the people's president, who has found almost everything that success can give him, describes Pramukh Swami Maharaj as his ultimate teacher who has put him into a God-synchronous orbit. The friendship has something more than simple communication, and rightly the word transcendence, because this friendship is a friendship that has transcended language, it has transcended culture, it has transcended education, it has transcended community, it has transcended even religion. It is a friendship that talks about unity and harmony in a different way. So many times we have heard that friendship is simply holding hands and looking at each other. I believe this friendship is not just looking at each other, but two different people looking in the same direction at the world, at the same goal. Both of them have wished, either through science, to develop India and people. Pramukh Swami's only wish is to develop the world through values. So development has been a plank of this friendship in a unique way. You know, what happens after something is perhaps more important than what happens during something. So when Kalam Sahib, he was talking to us sadhus, he said, you know, something miraculous has happened. And we said, what, sir? He said, since I was a young child, I had read a saying by Sant Thiruvalluvar. And Sant Thiruvalluvar had said that if you have pain and it is deep in your heart and it refuses to go away, even after a day or a week or a month or a year or a decade or decades, and it just doesn't go away, when you sit in the presence of a cosmic divinity, that pain instantaneously disappears. I had a pain which was deep in my heart for decades. First time it disappeared because I was sitting at the feet of Pramukh Swami. And that's when Dr. APJ Kalam said, a certificate from Pramukh Swami is a certificate from God. I don't want anything more. So their friendship was symbiotic. It was mutual, understanding, consciousness, and to be honest, perhaps a week before they met, I don't even think Kalam Sahib had probably heard of Pramukh Swami, and I don't think Pramukh Swami had heard about Dr. Kalam in the way that he met. So this friendship is transcendental, that transcends even positions and possessions. This friendship is unique in which way? That it's more than a communication of consciousness. It is perhaps a communication in spirituality. There has been hardly anybody that he has not recommended that go and have Pramukh Swami's darshan. You will grow from wherever you are. Religion or a religion set apart. You will grow wherever you are. A friend is a person who shares his friendship with the world at large. Dr. Kalam, what had been private to his heart, he's not just shared it with you and me, he has shared it with the whole world in this book, Transcendence. So this evening, I'm not just thankful to Professor Tiwari, but we are deeply thankful for Dr. Kalam, for he is a person who has a place in the dreams of every child because every child wants to be like him. He has a place in the night skies of India amongst the stars as the finest rocket engineer. He has a place in the arena of intellectuals as a profound thinker. He has a place in the world of literature as perhaps the most respected author. He has a place in the history of India as the 11th and most popular president of India. He has a place, most importantly this evening, a permanent place in the heart of Pramukh Swami, because the heart of Pramukh Swami Maharaj is transcendental. It is beyond I and mine. Kalam has written that Pramukh Swami has taught me the greatest lessons of life is how to remove I and mine. I believe the book that Dr. Kalam has written is not just on Pramukh Swami. It celebrates righteousness. It celebrates people who believe in universality and spirituality everywhere. So he has paid tribute to righteousness, spirituality, and universality. rising beyond all the divisions that divide us. So let us this evening transcend a little and get an idea of this book. Thank you very much.
I worked with Dr. Kalam from 1982. He was my boss. And then he became my inspiration, my guru. And it has been a fantastic journey of 34 years now. I had the honor of receiving his love, sharing his wisdom, and there is no day when he does not call me, and it is such a great feeling. I met Pramukh Swamiji first time in 2014 with Dr. Kalam. We went to Sarangpur, and at that time Dr. Kalam told me that for many years I wanted to write a book on my fellowship with Pramukh Swamiji. It is the time that that book should be written and take up this task. If anything happened to Pramukh Swamiji before I could write the book, I will be disappointed. So I say, no problem, sir. And I thought I have written Wings of Fire with Dr. Kalam and another 4 books. So what? I will write this also. Now, celebrations are going on. And as usual, Dr. Kalam asked me, what happened in Ahmedabad, what happened in Mumbai? I have to report him. So, he says, one day he told me, tell me, in one word, how would you describe Pramukh Swamiji? You are going everywhere and celebrating the book. Can you describe in one sentence about Pramukh Swamiji? So just to gain some time, I started telling that, sir, there are many kind of saints, and first kind of saints are who read all the scriptures, who collect all the gyan. Second kind of saints are who internalize that gyan. Third kind of saints are they become that gyan. So Pramukh Swamiji is that kind of a saint. Dr. Kalam says, I will give you 50% marks. So what is the problem? How do I get 100% marks? So he says, you have missed a very important point. Pramukh Swamiji has inspired millions of people to sail through this world and transmit their goodness to their future generation. He is the raft for millions of his devotees to sail through this world. This is the point we have missed. So, today, he called me and told me, so you are in Chennai. I said, yes, sir. You have become a roaming guy. So, roaming, different city. So, while you are celebrating it, I want to tell you one very important task is still unfinished. Pramukh Swamiji told me in 2001 about the 6th element, spirituality. Then he asked me how many children I have met so far. So I told, sir, you have met about 20 million children in last about 15, 20 years. That is his passion. Wherever he goes, he meets children. So he says, the future of India and the future of humanity, it lies with the children. And this task of how do we bring that spirituality into children is still unfinished. So, buddy, go, and while you are celebrating Transcendence, it is time you start working on another project, and that is introduce Ekantik Dharma to the children. And if you do that, God will bless you. I will be very happy. So today, on this great city, on this great occasion, with the blessings of all gurus, saints here, I take this sankalp that for rest of my time and energy, I'm going to spend to learn about Ekantik Dharma and present it to the children and our future generation. Thank you very much.
अथ ब्रह्म विद्यां व्याख्यास्यामः येनाक्षरं पुरुषं वेद सत्यं प्रोवाच तां तत्त्वतो ब्रह्म विद्याम् अथ अक्षरं ब्रह्म समाम्नायते ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परम् सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म अथ पुरुषोत्तमः समाम्नायते अक्षरात् परतः परः पुरुषान्न परं किञ्चित् साकाष्ठा सा परागतिः उपासते पुरुषं येन कामास्ते शुक्रमेण दति वर्तन्ति धीराः ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते परम् अथ ब्रह्मस्वरूपो गुरुः समाप्नायते तद्विज्ञानार्थं सगुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणि श्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम् यसेतुरीजानानम् अक्षरं ब्रह्म यत्परम् अभयं चिकीर्षतां पारं नाचिकेतं शकेमहि यस्य देवे परा भक्तिः यथा देवे तथा गुरो तस्येते कथिता यथाः प्रकाशन्ते महात्मनः तद्ब्रह्मेव भवति मे गुरुः गुरुः भवति मम आत्मा तमेव प्रत्यक्षनारायणस्वरूपं वदन्ति ब्राह्मणाः
After experiencing the wonderful spiritual journey of Sri Abdul Kalam ji for the last 15 years with his revered spiritual guru Sri Pramukh Swami ji, we feel delighted and blessed to witness the release of Transcendence in the city of Chennai. With purity of mind and integrity of man, buddhi and atma, when one ascends to the realms beyond the worldly things to higher para-region, it is called transcendence. In Sanskrit, it is called gunatita, above the three gunas. In Bhagavad Gita, in the 14th Adhyaya of Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Lord Krishna says, Mana apamanayoho tulyo, tulyo mitrari pakshayoho, sarvarambha parityagi, gunatita sauchyate. He is gunatit, who is same in honor and dishonor, same to friend and foe, abandoning all the worldly undertakings, he has risen above all the gunas. Pujya Sri Pramukh Swami Maharaj Ji is Gunatita divine, through whom Sri Abdul Kalam Ji entered the realm of spirituality, and these experiences have been enshrined in transcendence, which will guide the posterity for years to come. It is to the credit of co-author Professor Sri Arun Tiwari ji, who has very ably described the two giants aptly.
Kalam. The book Transcendence is a fusion of science and spirituality. The acquaintance of one of the greatest saints of our times, Swamiji Pramukh Maharaj, with Dr. Abdul Kalam has resulted in this book, which is an experience of spirituality with Swamiji. I am sure this book is going to give us a great insight into the spirituality, whereas if we seek the blessings and guidance of the gurus, we are taken nearer to the God. So this way, I think this is a very good experience, and this book, Transcendence, will help us if we can go through this book and abide by this, we will definitely be nearer to God and nearer to Pramod Maharaj Swamiji.
The power of positive thinking, the power of spirituality, the importance of values, the point which Swamiji, Pramukh Swami emphasized with Kalam was that have faith in God and the need for integrity, and that is the basic value that he has emphasized, and we can see how one positive thought can lead to greater positive results. The second important aspect, mere dreams, ideas are good, commitments are good, values are good, but unless you combine with action, no results will come. I think that has been beautifully summarized in the last sloka of the Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, where the Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna is the Yogeshwara. Every chapter of Gita is called a yoga. He is the divine guru. He provides the vision. Actually, people like Pramukh Swami are a reflection of that great spirit. And you see so we have seen in this book, it becomes very obvious, and people like us have been fortunate to have his blessing, meet him. We realize there is God. I believe in God. There are people like him who represent, who show, if God is there, it will be like Pramukh Swami. And that and it's what? It's a combination of the divine vision. In the case of Kalam, he is looking at it from the science point of view. But whatever the vision, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. Arjuna is a professionally competent person. Vision is not enough. So when these two are combined, when divine vision and supreme competence and professionalism are combined, then three things happen. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatta Shri, their wealth accumulates. Tatta Shri, Vijayor Bhuti, Vijay, success comes. Dhruva Nitir Matiram, Niti is justice. So you get justice, you get success, you get wealth, all are combined. And if you see in the Swaminarayan movement, and every initiative taken under the inspiration of Swaminarayan and the current Pramukh Swamiji, this impact of not only a great vision, but the vision combined with action, leading to justice, leading to success, leading to prosperity. In fact, therefore, wherever you go in the world, you can see the remarkable achievement of the movement. And all this been achieved on the positive, good spirit.
Dr. Kalam has authored many books, but this is unique. Probably, this is the only book which shows Dr. Kalam's spiritual shade. A reading of this book left me spellbound. Let me recollect some important sentences which made Dr. Kalam pen this book. A harmonious world may seem an impossibly utopian vision, but with the guidance of the divine and with the helping hand of the transcendent souls as Swamiji, the impossible may be achievable. With the book printed and ready for public sale, Dr. Kalam deeply wished to present the first copy to Swamiji, and he went to Ahmedabad by his car and presented the book to Swamiji and read out few paragraphs. It is to be noted that that day happens to be the first day of holy month of Ramzan, and Dr. Kalam has said that meeting Swamiji was his pilgrimage. I am reminded of a beautiful epilogue to this book. It says, Dr. Kalam dreamt that Swamiji and himself were walking in space since they were summoned to the divine presence, where they met various prophets and divine beings and they have seen heaven and hell. Dr. Kalam has interacted with divine power and asked, "Why am I here? Why is Swamiji here?" Divine power answered, "Both of you have defeated Iblis the demon, who have proclaimed his superiority over man. You have transcended his temptations. You have broken through his fences." Then immediately Dr. Kalam asked, "What do we do now?" The ultimate answer by divine power: "Go and tell the world that all lifetime forms are inseparable from God, for God is everywhere, in everything, and in everyone."
The year was 2004, and Mr. Kalam had come to Gandhinagar Akshardham. Next day, the Deputy Prime Minister of India, Lal Krishna Advani, he had come to meet Pramukh Swami Maharaj. And then, when he learnt about the meeting of Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Dr. Kalam, he said in Hindi, "Kalam बहुत ईमानदार आदमी है. Kalam is a very upright and an honest person." Just 3 days back, the CEO of Coca-Cola India, Mr. T. Krishna Kumar, who is fondly known as KK, he had come to Gandhinagar Akshardham. And by that time, he had read 2 sections of this book. And this Krishna Kumar, he told me, "Swamiji, because Kalam has written this book, it is not only 100%, but 250% authentic." That's what he said. And he said, "My grandfather was one of the teachers of Dr. Kalam." And he said, "I can relate to the experiences of Dr. Kalam because I have been in contact with Pramukh Swami Maharaj since last 8 years. And also I have experienced peace of mind and peace of heart in the presence of Swamiji." One last incident. In 2004, when Mr. Kalam, he happened to come to Gandhinagar Akshardham, and there was a question and answer session between the children and Dr. Kalam. And he got so interested that the program prolonged by 30 or 40 minutes. So after the program was over, he was sitting on the platform of Akshardham, and then Dr. Kalam, he started walking down the steps. At that time, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he apologized to the ADC of Dr. Kalam. He said, "I'm very sorry that your president has been late for more than 30 or 40 minutes. But at that time, the aide said, "Swamiji, actually, our president, he got so much interested with the children, the question and answer session, that it took him more than 30 or 40 minutes. But then Swamiji was following Dr. Kalam, and he went up to his car. He was 15 or 20 steps behind Dr. Kalam. When he sat in the car, Dr. Y.S. Rajan, he pointed to Dr. Kalam that Swamiji is following you. He opened the door, he came out, he folded his hands, he bowed his head, and this incident, it got carved into the heart of Dr. Kalam. So the next year, when we had been to Akshardham to invite Dr. Kalam for the opening ceremony of Swaminarayan Akshardham in New Delhi, it so happened that he saw a rosary, in Gujarati we called Mala, around the neck of Brahmavihari Swami. And he said, "What is this? Is it a rosary? And if it is a rosary, then how many beads do you have in that rosary?" And Swamiji, Brahmavihari Swami replied, "Yes, it's a rosary, and we have 108 beads in this rosary." What he did, he remained quiet for a few seconds. Then he opened one of the drawers. He pulled out his rosary. He showed it to us and said, "In this rosary also we have 108 beads. And you know, every morning when I come to this office, Before commencing my work, I turned the beads of rosary. So Kalam is a man of faith, is a man of God, an upright person. In conclusion, I would like to say that this book rather promoting a single individual, it talks about higher values, values that can educate and enlighten us, values that can lead to coexistence and peace of mind. Thank you all of you for coming to this place and making this evening very special. Jai Swaminarayan.
Dr. Kalam very rightly said in this evening's function, Dr. Kalam's observations were all shown. I entirely agree with him. You know, he is a spiritual personality and he inspires, and that inspiration is something very unique. So whenever I went to Gujarat later, I made it a point to have, I would put it this way, the darshan of Shri Pramukh Swamiji. Even last year I went to, just before the elections I was there, and I went to Sarangpur to have a darshan of Shri Pramukh Swamiji, and all other people helped. And when I was coming back, I called on Shri Narendra Modi ji, and since I had known him also for a long time, and he said, oh, you went all the way to Sarangpur to have a darshan of Sri Pramukh Swami. Yes, I went there. Only thing is he was not able to talk, though he gave his blessings to me. So what it shows, the quality of the man, the leadership of the man, how he could inspire people. He asked me, where were you and all that.
Today's the Transcendence books, what today's program is two wonderful people's self-realization and the experience, science and religion, what they improve the quality of life. First time he told me to go and see that Akshardham temple. Yes. So 2010, so I went Delhi to Akshardham temple. Before that he explained what is the temple was, how it created, what about that Swamiji. So I went and see that the wonderful things he created within the 5 years. Last April we were in Delhi with family members. So at that time also visited Akshardham temple and met Swamiji, get blessings for that. After visiting the temple he explained we are writing the books. So it's going to come within June or July. So I'm going to write an experience with Pramukh Swamiji. So that June will release the book. After releasing book also he informed the please buy that book and read, and also keep it in our gallery. This is not a religious kind of book. This is truly based on friendship. Two friends, what they experience. Only one side is science, other side is service. So what are the two things how they reach the people? Only science and service definitely give the peace and prosperity. Definitely I want to meet Swamiji in Gandhinagar. So whenever I speak about Gandhi Swamiji, he feels very enthusiastic.
The way in which today's program blended both, which one is showing the direction for the younger generation and also the elder generation, that any discipline needs values, and then Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, our former president, popularly called as a people's president, and where, like Russell said, that where the science stops, the spirituality begins its journey. Like that, today's blending, that the person, a very top scientist, is having a belief in the spirituality radiated by Pramukh Swamiji, is showing that spiritual discipline is very necessary, and this is gives a soul satisfaction for any man who is living in this world.